Right, Liverpool 2, Brighton 1. Liverpool top of the league. That sounds good. It sounds really good to say that. You happy? It's been a good day for to be a Reds. Obviously, the Reds won. Arsenal and Manchester City drew 0-0 earlier on today. Perfect set of results for Liverpool. I didn't really see it working out that way, but let's not worry too much about Arsenal, Manchester City just yet. Let's talk about Liverpool beating Brighton 2-1 and what happened in that game. Some key points. I mean, first thing I'm going to talk about is Alexis McAllister, another midfield masterclass from the young lad from Argentina. What a game. He's been brilliant this season. You know, obviously, maybe it took him a little bit of time to adjust to what, like all new signings for Liverpool, for Jurgen Klopp teams, it takes him a little bit of time to get up to speed. But the past 2 months or so, I think he's been exceptional. And he's just carried that on after the international break. Player of the match for me by a country mile today. I mean, just looking at some of his stats, now he's assisted 5 goals for Liverpool in the Premier League. Equals his tally with Brighton. With Liverpool, he's done it in 24 games. With Brighton, it took him 98 games. And 4 of his 5 assists for the Reds have been for winning goals. I mean, it just shows you how just integral he is to this Liverpool side, how composed he is. And that's one thing you don't really get when you're looking at stats. I mean, some of the stats today were really good. You know, he led Liverpool today in chances created, which was 5, final third entries, which was 11, which shows that he's not just a sitter, he's not just that steady Eddie water carrier, keeping possession ticking over. He's trying to be proactive. He's trying to take the game to the other team, showing his leadership qualities. Again, one thing I always come back to when talking about McAllister is composure, and we saw that today. You know, a lot of chaos around him, a lot of heavy metal football happening, and it took McAllister just to take the sting out of it and put that through ball into Mo Salah for the winning goal. And we just saw it today. He just makes the right decision pretty much all the time, whether it's a 2-yard pass or a 25-yard pass or a 50-yard pass. He just makes that right choice every single time. And I just thought he was fantastic today. Just a joy to watch, absolute joy to watch. His other midfield players around him, I thought Endo did really well. Maybe should have done better for the Brighton goal, possibly. Liverpool once again started slowly in the Premier League. But yeah, Endo I thought was bright, snapping into tackles, interceptions, blocks, all the things that the dirty work that you see from Liverpool's number 6 player. I was in the Annie Road today, so obviously watching him from an elevated position is just watching how he will drop into different positions and taking up different positions on the pitch as Liverpool's shape is evolving throughout the game. So you see, I'm talking about the defensive shape really, because he'll drop into centre back. When it's a back 4, maybe João Quanta we see sometimes getting forward, much like Joel Matip would get forward when he was fit. João Quanta is the player to be doing that, it seems, and when he does that, Endo will sit in as an auxiliary centre back. Sometimes we'll see Liverpool plays a back 3 with the one of the full backs or both of the full backs moving as into midfield or staying wide. When that happens, Endo will always make sure he's there, as he'll drop in the middle and the 2 centre backs or splits, all this kind of stuff. It's just fantastic to watch it in real time. I could watch him play football and not touch the ball. I could watch it all day. I thought he was brilliant. To the left of Endo, Szoboszlai, mixed bag for him. I thought today he struggled to get into the game really. But there was a 10-15 minute period in the second half when he seemed to, want to grab the game with both hands. And he really made a difference. Obviously, he had a big part in Mo Salah's goal. But that was coming from the right-hand side in midfield. Now, he started the game on the left side of the midfield 3 with McAllister on the right. I think McAllister is more effective in that right-hand side berth. So it means Szoboszlai, even though he started his Liverpool career in that right-hand side, now he's the player on the left. And I don't think he's quite got to grips with that. He doesn't seem to be able to run the channels as well and be as effective. When he was effective in this game, he found time to get to the right-hand side, and he seems to enjoy himself much more over that side. So there's a little conundrum there for Jurgen Klopp to kind of approach and see how he can get the best of Szoboszlai when he's not on the right-hand side. I think Curtis Jones coming back, who is naturally well suited to playing on the left-hand side of that midfield three, I think that is really, really good. He might have some kind of involvement in the Sheffield United game. Maybe that might come too soon, but United next Sunday looks like a definite target to see Curtis Jones back, and I can't wait to see him back because I love to watch him play. I think he's been brilliant this season and just really unlucky with injuries, but I think he's really, really important for the Reds. Defensively, Joe Gomez, really good at left back today. On the other side, Conor Bradley struggled a little bit, maybe in the first half. I think he was, maybe that kind of lack of experience at that level is just maybe shown a little bit, but you give him the benefit of the doubt because he hasn't really let Liverpool down at any point. I wouldn't say he was a fault for the Brighton goal, though. There was some shouts saying he was out of possession. I don't think he can be out of position, rather. I don't think he can be out of position as a modern footballer. Everything is so fluid. And it's certainly what Jurgen Klopp expects from his fullbacks, especially his right-sided fullback, in terms of slotting into a midfield position. It's not about the player being out of position. It's about how the team reacts to where that player is going. And Conor Bradley started the game pretty much from the kick-off. He moved from that right-hand berth into a right-sided central midfield position with Mo Salah keeping the width on the right wing. He started there. It was exploited by Brighton, really, that kind of slow start by Liverpool. But Brighton had possession in their own half. Their move started in their own half. So saying Conor Bradley was culpable for that goal, I think is very harsh, really. There's so much time from when Brighton regained possession to, where the goal, it was a great strike from Welbeck. There's so much time there and so much happened in that passage of play. I don't think you can put any real blame on Conor Bradley there. But he did struggle somewhat, but he grew into the game, got better as the game went on. And I think he was always a threat and always willing to take the ball into the final third and make something happen. It would have been actually nice to see him not show a bit more confidence, but back himself maybe a touch more and just be a bit greedier. There was a couple of times when he was in good positions when maybe a shot was on, maybe a chance to go outside was on, and he's laid it off, which is probably the right thing to do. But he's such a talented player. I think he could probably add a few more goals to his game because he's got a great shot. He's got great technique. You're thinking, well, just consider yourself a senior player. You don't always have to give the ball to the more senior pros around you. But yeah, I think he did all right. As I said, Joe Gomez did well. What we saw kind of in the first half with Conor Bradley struggling a little bit and getting dragged around a little bit, he would tend to move to more of a regular right-back role. And then it was down to Joe Gomez to fill up that midfield position. That was always happening. One of those fullbacks was pretty much always being pushed to be the extra man in midfield. When Joe Gomez was doing it, it's more effective. Having that right footer step into midfield there. He did really well, Joe Gomez. He's just redefining how he plays football from what we've seen from his 8-9 years at Liverpool. He's been incredible this season. Really important player. I hope Joe Gomez gets that recognition from people inside Anfield and outside of Anfield. 2 centre-backs, brilliant. Virgil, maybe a slight criticism. He could have just been a little bit sharper for that Brighton goal. But honestly, I think that goal was more about Brighton being really good rather than Liverpool being really poor. But for the rest of the game, he did everything that you expect from Van Dijk. There was a few moments as well when he was actually leading the press, which was incredible to see. Obviously, he's taking those responsibilities as captain to heart, and he was like, right, we need to be more aggressive, more on the front foot, and There was at least 2 occasions there when he was really leading that press. So that was something else to see, really. And then up front, Luis Diaz on the left, really great instincts to score Liverpool's equaliser. He looked, hungry. Well, yeah, maybe the first 25 minutes, I think actually he struggled to get any real involvement in the game. Much of Liverpool's work has come down the right-hand side. He didn't really get too many touches, but when he started to get more involved after about 25 minutes or so, he just looked like he was really taking it personally that Liverpool weren't winning this game. And that desire, I think, was just evident in his goal, evidence in his all-round play, and really, on another day, maybe he might have had the goal that got disallowed. It was so close. I think it was probably the right decision to get disallowed. But I thought he was great. Got a lot of critics online, Luis Diaz. Not quite sure why. I think maybe he's getting unfairly compared to Sadio Mane, a completely different player. Playing at the absolute peak of his game, just tremendous. I think it's a bit unfair to compare Diaz to Mane, peak Mane. Who else we got? Darwin Núñez wasn't super involved today. There was one bit of improvisation. Núñez's heavy metal football meets jazz football, and it nearly paid off for him. He was always a willing runner, as he is always willing runner. But I think he was finding it difficult to run into too many challenges. Channels. There wasn't a lot for him to. He wasn't getting a lot of change out of Brighton's defence. So not as great as game, but still, still a really good, vital team performance from Núñez. Mo Salah on the right. It was a strange game from Salah. He just didn't look that great today. Yet, when can you write him off? You just know at some point he'll get the chance that he needs. And it was another great goal. Really, really good goal. Great ball. Great bit of work by Slobsky on the right. Again, the composure from McAllister that we spoke of feeds through. Mo Salah, absolutely fantastic. Does it again. He just never lets you down. And Liverpool finished the game. Finish Easter Sunday, top of the league. So what does this mean now? It means that Liverpool play Sheffield United on Thursday, and both Manchester City and Arsenal play on Wednesday. I think Arsenal got Luton, Man City have got Aston Villa. So we might have to do it all again on Thursday. But you'd imagine Thursday night, under the lights at Anfield, Sheffield United, who are just terrible, really awful. It's got to be a 3-pointer for Liverpool. And Liverpool have got to go into the Manchester United game, top of the league again, and just not worry about what's behind them. Just got to keep going and keep going. There's 9 games left in the league. I think all 3 teams are going to drop points at some point. I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm enjoying it. Jurgen Klopp said in this press conference today to enjoy it. Enjoy these moments, enjoy the challenge. And as horrible as it was to sit in Anfield today, as tense as it was, I'd be head in my hands at some points. It was just not enjoyable at all. But I'm trying to enjoy, now I can try and enjoy the moments that we're going through. These are the last 9 league games that we've got with Jurgen Klopp in the dugout. Let's savour it. Whatever happens at the end of this journey, let's savour these fantastic times that Jurgen Klopp has given us, and we'll see what comes next. But for now, Liverpool are top of the league.